Hey, Marcus, thanks so much. Switching gears, medical malpractice cases. So has a doctor or maybe another medical professional made a mistake and, got you in trouble somehow?
Yes, and I'm sure that there are many people watching right now that might be in this predicament, and they're wondering what exactly are their rights, what is medical malpractice, and do they fit under that? Well, attorney Jonathan Mester from Nuremberg at Paris Law Firm is joining us. Thank you, sir, for coming on the show.
It's good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
This is an important topic.
The term medical malpractice, it's often used. We see it in commercials. What exactly is a medical malpractice case?
That's a very good question. Basically, medical malpractice means a medical mistake, okay? It means negligence. It means that something has happened. A doctor, a nurse, some type of medical provider has done something that was a mistake, that a reasonable doctor or nurse or what have you in the same situation would have done something different. So that's basically a medical malpractice case in a nutshell.
Okay.
It's a mistake.
How common in the scheme of things are these?
Well, there are studies out there that talk about how common they are, and they're more common than you would think.
Right.
In a lot of situations, things happen where that are avoidable, I guess is the best way of saying it.
Mm-hmm.
That a test could have been run, a technique could have been done differently, and had it been done that way, the outcome would have been different. So they're fairly common.
See, that's the thing.
I mean, it's human error. There are people, no one's perfect.
That's right.
But
That's
unfortunately,
exactly right.
bad things happen to good people.
Exactly right.
Whether it's a birth injury or even when you're an adult. So, and to me, I would think, okay, well, there's always a statute of limitations to every law case. When it comes to something like this, I'm sure people might think, oh, this happened to me when I was born. I'm 15 or 16 or 17, and they didn't know if something was wrong when they were 2, but there's something wrong now. So as far as time limit, what are those?
That's a very good question. Ohio has a 1-year statute, which is a very limiting statute for medical malpractice. However, when it comes to kids, that statute doesn't even begin to run until they've reached the age of 18. So yeah, we get calls a lot of times from people, kids who are 9, 10, from their parents who say, boy, when my child was delivered, we found out that he or she had cerebral palsy. We were concerned about it, but we didn't want to do anything. We're not litigious people. We weren't looking to go out and sue and run to the courthouse. But now, things have really gotten bad, and now that my child's getting older, we see how bad it is. Can we still do something? And the answer is yes.
And then from there, I guess the next question would be, how is the amount of money determined in these cases? I mean, I'm sure it's different from case to case, but...
Exactly right. The amount of money is a function in Ohio, really, of what your costs are. Because in Ohio, we have damage caps on pain and suffering. So there is a cap, and it differs depending on the circumstances. But there is a cap on how much money you can get for your pain and suffering. However, the biggest factor in cases is what we call economic damages, meaning your medical bills, both those that have happened already and those that will happen in the future. The cost of care, and again, talking about cerebral palsy kids, the cost of care for children throughout the rest of their life is obviously quite extensive when you talk about the needs that these kids have. So that's how it's determined. You look at the out-of-pocket losses, and then there's pain and suffering, but there's a cap on that. Now, for wrongful death cases in Ohio, fortunately, in the Ohio Constitution, there is no cap.
Wow.
So there's no cap on wrongful death case damages, but otherwise there is a cap.
So there's a lot of information out there, and I think the best thing that people should do is that, if they are worried about this, just contact you.
That's absolutely right.
And contact them on their website, nphm.com, because experience matters, and this law firm has the experience. Jonathan, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So good to see you.
You as well.
This is really valuable information.
Yes, it is.